Audio, fix
Audio
your
check.
stuff. Audio.
Check. Thank you, 5.
Visual's done. Visual's been set up. Audio's lacking.
Guys, if you don't fucking know, if you don't flip and know, if you don't beep and know,
If you don't flip and know,
we split
go
the
ahead.
job 50-50. I'm audio, she's video.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 2 seconds late with the audio today. Snap.
Do better, okay?
See, they wouldn't have been able to hear that snap if I didn't hit record.
Yes, they would have.
How?
There's a microphone in the camera.
You right. I didn't think about that.
You just delete it before
Yeah,
you
I do.
upload it.
I do.
Okay, hello
Hey.
everybody. Welcome back to 2 Ugly 4 OF.
I'll let you do it solo today.
Thank you. And then you joined in.
To showcase your beautiful, gorgeous voice.
Ew.
Miley Cyrus rasp.
My Miley Cyrus Raz.
She just announced her 9th album.
Yes, 9th studio album.
It's called like Something Beautiful or something.
Yeah, something. I think that's exactly what it's called. She looks great. She looks
does look
beautiful.
great.
That's something beautiful.
Her teeth, though, really freak me out nowadays.
Her teeth. I have a long
History of hating her teeth?
I have a long history of hating celebrities who get veneers, but they don't need them.
I think, I don't think she ever needed them.
Like,
but who else would be an example of that?
I have an example, but I want you to go first.
I can't think of anyone like
I can think
off
of like
the top of my head.
5 people.
Who?
Emma Watson.
She got veneers?
She got veneers.
See, I don't really watch any of her newer
She got
stuff.
veneers, and she didn't need them, and her old teeth were so pretty.
I would get veneers.
And there's a second one where leads us to a segue of what we're talking about today. But the man, Sam McLaughlin, who played McClaughlin.
Something like that.
I'm sorry.
I know there's an L in there somewhere.
Yeah. Sammy Boy. Samuel.
Also known as
Finnick Dare from Catching Fire movie of the Hunger Games, which is what we're talking about today.
I would have. He would have held it like this. I would have put his whole hand in my mouth, and then used my tongue to go like this between his fingers. To scoop up the fucking.
I would have put it in my mouth.
Thing.
I would have put it in my mouth and exfoliated him.
Real. I would have been like a cat.
Flip that, get money. Flip that, get money. Bleep that.
Give you my soul, cause
But
I'm never alone.
Samuel. Samuel. He got veneers.
What if his name is Samantha?
Samantha. Miss
Samantha
Samantha. Well, Miss Samantha, fuck your drag because you shouldn't have gotten veneers.
You got veneers too?
Yes, he did.
Again, I don't think I've seen him in anything recent.
His teeth were so nice. Like, they protruded out, like, of his mouth to the point where, like, it was like a goofy smile. And his 2, like, front teeth were, like, inverted kind of this way.
He had them in Hunger Games?
He had them in Hunger Games, yeah.
Oh, I thought they looked great.
in Daisy Jones in the 6th, he had veneers.
So he had his real teeth in
Hunger Games, and then veneers, and yeah. And it, like, with Finnick Dare too, like, of course, like, you would have your natural teeth because you're not gonna have you're not gonna have braces in the district. I mean, true. District 4, even though with their careers.
That's true. That's crazy to me.
Isn't it crazy? Like braces and like perfect teeth is like
near beer careers.
I love the name Newcomers. Okay, by the way, guys.
Okay. If you're not in the know, if you're not in the circle of life, the Hunger Games, Suzanne Collins, the author of Miss Suzanne, lock her up, Collins.
Miss Suzanne, lock her up. I wish a bitch would,
because
Collins.
She needs that woman. Someone needs to imprison her.
Mm-hmm.
Put her away. I don't understand how she be coming up with these
for the emotional
games
turmoil that she put us through.
She's insane.
So anyway, on Tuesday, what was it? March 20.
Today's Tuesday.
Yeah, but last Tuesday.
It came out last Tuesday.
Yeah, it came out. I went home.
I didn't get it until Thursday. Yeah, March something.
Yeah.
Nina's sick.
Excuse me, I'm sick. Stop, I'm sensitive, Aubrey.
I'm sorry, Steve from Blue's Clues.
That's actually a compliment.
I liked Joe better.
Joe was hot, but I love Steve.
That's why I liked him better.
Yeah, I agree.
Isn't Joe?
But I like Steve. He's more memorable to me.
Yeah, me too.
Steve is more memorable. I love Blue's Clues.
Blue's Clues, guys.
For nobody who knows. You think they had Blue's Clues in District 12?
No.
Oh, damn.
I didn't think they even had the color blue.
Of course they
only
did.
Black and gray.
Of course
That's
they
true.
did.
Katniss's dress for the reaping.
She was a Mockingjay.
The 74th.
The 74th Hunger Games.
I was
thinking about Sunrise on the Reaping came out last
Tuesday.
So,
Suzanne Collins, author of The Hunger Games, released her 5th novel in the series. Mm-hmm. And it is a prequel, which is about Hamish Abernathy's games.
In which Hamish Abernathy is a mentor for Katniss and Peeta, who are the two main characters of the Hunger Games series. Trilogy. Books 1, 2, and 3.
Which all the movies are about.
Yes. Well,
minus
Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes,
which was the 4th novel in the series.
Yeah, which is about the President Snow.
So both of the two outside of the trilogy are prequels.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So Sunrise on the Reaping, we ordered.
Give them a summary.
So the summary is, without giving too many spoilers, but I mean, don't watch this if you don't want spoilers.
Well, skip it to the end, hit the thumbs up, and then you can exit. So
we finished the book. He finished 24. Wait, how long before?
I finished it in 2 days. Yeah. I started it on. I went in on it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then Sunday I finished it.
Sunday he finished it, and I was like reading it throughout the whole week.
I'm not a fast reader, guys.
No, usually, he's not.
I was locked in. I
was like, you're going so fast.
I had a sunset video playing on my TV. Rain sounds in my ears.
No way.
Blanket and my cat.
No way. Wait, this is perfect.
And it was delicious. I loved it.
Oh, and he was sitting on his couch.
I was sitting on my couch.
Oh, that's the best. I wish. That sounds like fun. I was trying to find the perfect position to read because I don't really like reading physical books. I like reading
Kindle.
Yeah, Kindle. Because I can lay however I want and I could read with the lights off.
That is true, honestly.
So I like that better. And I finished Sunday night at 1 a.m.
But there's something so gratifying about flipping a page.
I know. It's like there's something so cool of having a book and I'm like, all the words are there.
Yeah.
All the words are there.
I could
beginning to end, all of the story.
Pages
exactly. The entire story is here.
Exactly.
The entire story
I
is
feel
in my hands.
A Kindle kind of thing, it's I can't. I don't know how much more I have.
Exactly.
I can't see my progress.
Well, you can, but the thing is, it's not real.
No, it's
not real because I can't flip it
to
the binding to see how far in the middle I'm up.
Which side is fatter.
Yes, to see which. Oh my god, that's so funny. But Sunrise on the Reaping is about Hamish Abernathy, and he's 16 years old when he celebrates his birthday on the day of reaping. So,
if you don't know what reaping is, that is the day that people from the Capitol or whoever come and they pick the names for one boy and one girl for the Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm. However, this year it was the 50th Hunger Games, so it is the second
quarter quell.
Which the prize or the surprise,
the
special twist was that there was 2 as many tributes from every district. There are 12 districts.
Twice as many.
Two as many? Did I say that? There were twice as many. So instead of 24, it's 48.
So 2 boys, 2 girls from each district. 12 districts.
12 to 18 are the kids who are picked out of the glass bowl.
And there has never been a victor from
District 12 who is alive.
Except for Lucy Gray Baird, which was the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. She was her and Coriolanus Snow.
Oh, they got into some
some doo-doo trouble.
Blonde men and the Covey girls.
Real! I texted Nina. I was like, yo, these blonde men be loving that Covey.
So
blank.
Covey, I would say, is their version.
They're like nomads.
They're like nomads, and they're also indigenous. I would say that they're the indigenous people of Panam, which they kind of just get mixed into the culture because this is years in the future, supposedly.
Yeah.
But Sunrise on the Reaping is specifically about Hamish. His best friends include Katniss's father, Burdock Everdeen. Mm-hmm. This guy named Blair, which I don't know.
I don't think he has anything. I don't think he has anything
to do anything, but I have a feeling that he might be Gale's father.
Awkward.
Because I was just thinking, it's not confirmed in the book, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, because whatever. And then Katniss's mother is Astrid.
They were finally name dropped because I googled it the day the book came out because I was reading and I saw the name Everdeen and I was like, huh, is this their dad or is this I don't know, an uncle or something? And I googled it Who is what is the name of Katniss's dad? And obviously it just came up as Mr. Everdeen because they were never named in the trilogy.
Yeah. So this is the first time they're named. Then Astrid is her mom, and Maisily. No, Astrid's not her mom.
Astrid is her mom.
I thought it began with an M. Oh, Astrid. Okay.
No, Maisily and Merrily were the twins.
Merrily is the twin.
Yeah, but that's not her dad. Astrid. That's not her mom. Astrid is the mom.
Merrily. Yes, that's her mom.
No, Astrid is the mom.
No.
Yes, because Burdock liked the town girl
who was Astrid. Merrily.
Who was Astrid because she worked at the thing.
No, it's Merrily.
Let me Google. Hold, please.
It's Merrily. And then Maisily is her twin who gets sent into the game.
As well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Katniss Everdeen.
And then we don't talk about Lenore Dove.
Astrid. Because Burdock had a big crush on Astrid.
But I thought it was her twin sister.
No. She was just that was just her twin.
Oh, that was just her twin.
I think because this girl worked at the pharmacy place.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, the apothecary. You're right.
Merrily and Maisily worked at the candy store.
Yes.
That's why they were
rich. You were right. No, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right because then
this was all told in just the first chapter alone.
Exactly.
So much lore drops.
Exactly. And originally, which we didn't know, nobody knew, because in Catching Fire, a little bit of a backstory. In Catching Fire, Peeta and Katniss are again picked because the 75th annual Hunger Games is at the third quarter quell, and that is the All-Star RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. Okay,
victors only, girl.
RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars season 3.
President Snow said, haha, y'all thought you were done?
Yeah,
LOL.
for real.
Get your ass back in here.
So, they get picked, and Peeta...
Well, technically, Haymitch gets picked
for the first time, legally. And then, which we'll get back to later.
And then Peeta volunteers.
And so that means Katniss and Peeta are back in the game together.
Facts.
We see a bunch of the past winners. We see Mags, Wyrus,
yes,
Beatty,
but what
Joanna.
Isn't in the film, which he has yet to read the original trilogy, what isn't in the film is that Katniss and Peeta, they have a box of tapes from past games and they watch Haymitch's. And that's how we know a lot of that's how we know the Capitol's perspective, or what they edited to be as him getting picked, his mom saying goodbye to him, and then how the arena looked. So I knew already how the arena looked, but I didn't
the way the arena looks,
and how he won the games.
I can't wait for the thing.
And how he won the games. So we knew all that from Catching Fire from the book, and
but
then
we knew in this book now that it was all spliced and
it was
edited.
rigged.
So this is your message. Never trust the media. They are all liars.
Do you see what's behind me, President Snow? Fire is catching. And if we burn, you burn with us.
Gosh, the dramatics.
Oh my goodness. She was Lord.
She was really there for the theatrics.
That was so funny when they were trying to
which is crazy because you know who was recording it? What's his face?
Plutarch. Which is my god.
Who played a super major role in Sunrise on the Reaping, which I was not expecting at all, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, are you kidding me? He had to find his way in.
I know, which is this was great.
Yeah, I know. Which, honestly, Plutarch is such a complicated character because the thing
teeters the line.
He really does, and he does it so well and he's so well written in the regard it's you have yourself questioning until the very end whether or not he's for the rebels.
Because he is so likable
with
everyone.
Exactly.
And
he's so personable.
To everyone.
But the thing that makes him separate from the human cause is that he is always going to be a Capitol person.
Of course.
And he's never going to know what it's like to be in the districts, especially District 12. So there are some elements to him that's kind of like the lessons that are weaved into his mind, into his subconscious, where it's almost like when he films Haymitch, or when he has a camera in his hand, all humanity kind of drains from him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm getting my shot. I'm getting what I want.
Facts.
No matter what.
Yeah. Which
I feel like a lot of people say some directors are like in real life.
Exactly, so. which I've heard that Stanley Kubrick is like that. The guy who directed The Shining.
A lot of people who are on like reality TV say that reality TV like producers and directors are exactly like that.
Which is like they're doing which
they're
I
doing
understand,
their job, which I understand.
I think he understands the power that Plutarch understands the power that he yields because he used that to help Haymitch get like a last goodbye. Fact. Because he knew how rigged. So backstory: Haymitch wasn't picked in the.
He was not.
He was not picked in the 50th of Hunger Games.
They picked the two girls, and then they pick a guy. And
Wyatt, R.I.P.
Yes,
they
picked
him.
Oh, I love you, Wyatt. Our odds maker. And then they picked a second boy
called Woodbine Chance. Woodbine Chance.
And the MFer ran away.
Flipper. He ran away. He got shot by a peacekeeper.
Shot right in the head. Brain on the floor.
Brain on the floor. So
naturally, his mother ran to him.
And then his Haymitch's GF, Miss Lenore Dove.
Her fine shit.
his fine flip. His fine shite. Runs up to the mom and
she's like trying to also keep the body, which is like, girl, that is none of your business.
And tear it away from the peacekeepers.
So this Covey girl, Lenore Dove, because the Covey names their children after like
poems,
a song, and then a color.
Animal?
A color,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like Tam Amber and Clerk Carmine, which I don't know what that means, but
Clerk Carmine, and then there's Lucy Greybeard.
Yeah.
And so she's named after the poem "The Raven" by Edgar Allan Poe, the poem is cited fully
a lot
in the last chapter of the book. It's fully there,
like at least 10 times.
Yeah. So those who don't know the poem, it's this man who's in his study. He just lost his wife.
Dead.
And then he hears a tapping on his chamber door.
Let me visualize for you.
On my chamber door. He hears a tapping at his chamber door while he's trying to drown his sorrows in the drink, in the liqueur, in spirits. And there's he opens the door, nothing's there, and then all of a sudden he sees a raven on his mantle. And no, the raven isn't caught. He goes, nevermore, nevermore. This raven can talk, but the only thing he can say is nevermore. So this crazy guy is like, I know I'm never seeing my wife again. I know, like, you don't have to rub it in my face. And it reminded me, honestly, of the scene in Hunger Games where Katniss is yelling at the cat. Where she's yelling at the cat. She's like, she's not here. Go home. Oh my god. And I would really like to see those scenes back to back. That's so funny.
Me too.
And yeah, he thinks like the raven is mimicking, but he's just repeating the word over and over. It's like a poem showing how like your own sanity can become your own demise, I guess. I don't know. But that poem was cited a lot, and she's named after that poem. This woman, Lenore Dove.
So Haymitch loves her. Obviously, that's his GF.
They mate for life like geese.
And he runs over because a peacekeeper, who are basically like the Pan Am police, military type people. He was about to like hit this girl in the face with the end of his rifle.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you've seen movies or TV, but it looks like it hurts real bad.
No, it would hurt real bad.
Like right in the temple. That knocks you out.
God, please.
So as a good man and boyfriend, Haymitch runs over to like talk some sense into people, be like, no, it's all right, guys, it's all right. And then he gets hit with the rifle, and then everyone's like, oh, well, we need a second boy. Here we go.
So then the woman calling out the name is Drusilla, who I hope is played by Helena Bonham Carter.
I hope.
She's like, you need to be punished. What is your name? He goes, hey, my job. And she writes it down. They start recording again, make everybody go back into the square. Like, it's all fake. Like,
clean up the
blood, clean up the brains.
She yells at the sniper, you couldn't wait until he was in the alley.
Yeah. It's
like, that's crazy.
Like, this is a life, you know? This is a life.
Look at the person. But she doesn't see them as people.
No, she doesn't.
Capital people don't see the district people as humans. They see them as animals.
Yeah. And there's this part in the book where Haymitch, where he goes to the Capitol, spoiler. He goes to the Capitol and he's like, do they see my fingernails as claws? Do they see my hands as paws?
Do they see my hair as fur?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like really good. This book is really good, guys.
If you can tell, we're kind of obsessed.
But yeah, he wasn't supposed to be picked. Which
so his was illegal.
It was illegal. He was picked illegally.
All the District 12 people.
Oh my god! And then there was this Easter egg in the book of Burdock Everdeen, Katniss's father, saving Peeta's father's life.
Oh my god!
He was like in the commotion, like his name is Otto Malark. Otto Malark, and he's like looking.
He's so confused.
He's looking. He's like so confused. He's the baker boy.
And
in this
he's
story.
like, everyone else is like on their knees, like head on the ground.
And there's shots, there's bullets flying everywhere, and he's like tall, this big guy. So Burdock, which his nickname is Birdie. Which, you know, apparently he's supposed to have a really beautiful voice, and he's supposed to like sing really well. He knees him, and he goes down. And he like away from the bullets, he like saves his life. I'm like, oh my god! When I read his last name, I was like, I knew he was gonna show up. I just didn't know when.
These freaking well, I was gonna say Everlarks. Their ship name.
Yeah.
These freaking Everdeens are always saving these Malarks.
That ship name is so good. Everlark.
Everlark. I know.
Everlark is so good. I'd read a fanfic that was named Everlark. Can you imagine?
There probably is.
There probably is. And if not, I'm writing that. Don't steal that.
I think so many people have already written it, girl.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Because I know they're kids. I know that they're kids, and you should not write about kids flipping, but I think those are also 13-year-olds writing that.
Yeah. So it's like,
I mean,
if you're a 13-year-old right on AO3, get off. Go find your parents. Make them take away your computer.
No, because it makes your brain juicier when you read about sex at such a young age. When you read about literal BDSM and sexual assault as a 13, it makes your brain juicier. Aren't you like, oh, I'm turned on?
Whoa. Y'all fanfics are crazy.
No, I'm kidding, please.
Fanfic goes crazy.
It was
like,
so
I
bad.
think some of it is like very fun. Like, ooh, alternate universe. Like, what if this happens?
Exactly. But I could get behind like obviously the Dramini ones. Those are cool.
Yeah. Sure.
If that's like, if it's consensual, why not? I could get behind like the really fun ones where it was like the students sneaking around school. Yeah. That's fun.
Going to a water park.
Or I like the YN novels.
Oh yeah, where
Your
it's
Name.
like you.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't like when there's a connotation of like rape in it. I don't like that.
Well, yeah, that's not a good thing.
I don't like that. I don't like. I understand maybe if it's your cup of tea, it's not mine, and it should not be your cup of tea. I'm sorry,
Colleen
that's weird.
Hoover books.
I don't even get me started.
Anyways,
don't even get me started
to Hunger Games. So we really loved this book, and we just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah, because we
were already talking about it so much, we're like, might as well record it.
And he got the trilogy just now.
I've never read the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and obviously I read Sunrise on the Reaping, but I've never seen the original. I've never watched. Nope, I never read
the original 300.
The original trilogy.
Justin, you were going to love it.
Did you watch the original like when they came out like in theaters?
Yes, I did.
Me too.
I watched them in theaters. I watched Hunger Games. I actually watched twice, and I remember because I went to watch Hunger Games and we were almost late for the movie because it was Forever 21 had just opened up at Atlas Park Mall, and we were almost late for the movie because we were trying on clothes.
Which they're closing down.
R.I.P.
Forever
and it was
21.
I think it was the first time I went to go see a movie with my friends alone.
Wow.
And it was Hunger Games.
Wow.
So I watched the Hunger Games. It was so good, and then I watched it again, and then I watched Catching Fire. Mm-hmm. But I never
You ever seen Mockingjay?
I never seen
Part
Mockingjay
1
or 2 until we watched it at Jess's house.
Damn.
Yep.
Those
I
were
never
good.
seen it. Never seen it.
Catching Fire, I think, is
Catching Fire was my favorite.
My favorite movie.
My favorite was that was my favorite movie, and it's my favorite.
In it too.
It was my favorite book too. It was my favorite book.
I feel like that's the general consensus by a lot of people, though.
That
like,
Catching Fire
was the best.
Catching Fire is my favorite because it's. I feel like there's so many touching moments.
Sound off in the comments.
And like Katniss is like a hard person to love. Mm-hmm. And there's so many moments in that where like she's finally letting Peeta in and trying to trust Peeta when her entire world was her mom and Prim. You know, and like she didn't even let Gale into that world.
What happened to her mom? Her mom died too, right?
No, she doesn't die.
Oh.
She's
good for you, Astrid.
At the end of the book, which I'm like, this is so weird. Like you have another daughter. When Prim dies, her mom continues to be a nurse, I think, in like the new like capital.
Oh yeah.
And they send each other letters or whatever, but she lives in the Victor's village with Peeta and Haymitch.
Oh, good for her.
Yep.
I guess.
And we get a little update at the end of Sunrise on the Reaping.
And
it's so cute. It was so cute. Where he tells Peeta and Katniss the story of everything. He was like, there was just one day they were like, these are my 2 doves and they're my family. Like, I have to stay here for my family. He's like, I don't know how long I've got left. My liver's definitely shot. But he was like, I have to stay here for my family. And he tells them, he was like, and one day it just slipped out, our story. And he told the story about everything from start to finish. And it was the entire book, which it seemed like the epilogue made it seem like he was like telling the story to Peeta and Katniss. And
which was a great choice by Suzanne Collins.
Oh my God, it was so good. And then she surprises him one day with goose eggs.
Because Lenore Dove had a gaggle of geese.
Gaggle of geese.
Gaggle of geese. Follow her around. And it's like, because she was there when they hatched. So obviously the first face they saw
is the only face they love.
The only face they love. So geese remind Haymitch of Lenore Dove.
And they mate for life.
They mate for life.
And she promises him when she's dying, because before he leaves for the reaping, for the games, he buys her a bag of gumdrops because they're her favorite. And he tells his little brother, go give her these gumdrops.
Make sure she gets them.
He's like, I will. He gets back. He doesn't know if she got them or not. His family, his mother and his little brother, they die in a house fire.
Which was
immediately
set on Capitol.
As he touches.
As soon as he gets back to District 12, as soon as they open that damn train door.
And he thought it was weird. He was like, it is 5 a.m., I guess, on a Saturday. Why is no one here?
Yeah.
Why is no one here, like, to greet me? Like, where's my mom and my brother?
Yeah. I just won these damn Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Where's the celebration in town?
He goes into the town and he smells the smoke.
And he's like, oh, probably someone's like having a campfire.
Yeah. It's like, it's so weird. And then he realizes like his house is up in smoke. And then he's like, no. And then his friend Burdock is like, we've been trying to save them for hours. And we don't know.
And Burdock and Blair perished. Literally hold him down so he can't run into the house.
Because he was trying to kill himself after that.
I mean, listen, I would too.
After my family died, yep. If my family died, yep.
After all that, all you want to do, go home, see your little siblings, see your parents. And they're dying. No.
And at that point, Lenore Dove is arrested because she's a mischievous little queen.
Oh my God. So in the games, Macely and Haymitch get close, obviously. And they're just like, and Macely is like, she has a secret. And as we know, in the Hunger Games, secrets are big things. Like, talk about Finnick Dare. Anyways, secrets are a big thing. Secrets, you can't do nothing. You can't be told a secret unless you give a secret. So obviously, Haymitch didn't have a secret. Well, but he finds out on his own accord that she was a little mischievous little rebel,
a rascal,
if you will, spray paint and propaganda on
the walls,
of the Capitol or whatever.
Yeah, on the walls of the mayor's house.
Yeah.
Not like the alleyways. I don't think it's the mayor's house. She started a fire under the stage.
And she did. Yeah, she did.
Under the stage of
someone was about to get hung.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Are you
coming to the anyway, tree? He gives Lenore Dove a gumdrop.
Without looking. And he realizes
all of the gumdrops are poisoned, and it's from the Capitol. He looks at the bag, and she's like starting to choke. She's like, and she's trying to throw up. She's like, I can't throw up. Like, I haven't eaten in days. The poison is taking her, and she at the end goes, just don't you dare let another sun rise on the day of the reaping. Basically,
stop the reaping.
Stop the Hunger Games. Like, and he's like, oh, I will, I promise. So we get a recap of that whole year, and he's living in the Victor's Village alone. He pushes away his friends. He's 17 at this time.
Yeah.
He starts starts he starts like pushing people away again, and then
he has like dreams of Lenore Dove, and he's given her the gumdrop in all these dreams, and there's nothing he could do to stop it or change it. And then he sees like his family. It's crazy.
And then it ends before the epilogue of the Hunger Games, another year of the Hunger Games.
Happy birthday, Haymitch.
Happy birthday, Haymitch, because his birthday is the
On
year on the day of the
July 4th.
reaping. July 4th, the U.S. Suzanne did that on purpose, definitely. Imagine it was September 11th, day of the reaping.
That's a little too on the nose.
My overall consensus was, I think that is, oh God, I think it's my second favorite book now. Of the whole thing.
I think I liked it better than ballads, but honestly, I don't know.
Really?
Because I really liked ballads. Nina hasn't read ballads, but I haven't read the original trilogy.
But I don't need to. Justin, the trilogy is gonna knock your socks off. It's terrified. So good. It's so good. It's so good.
I'm terrified.
The trilogy is gonna knock your freaking socks off. Which, by the way, happy 20th anniversary, 10th anniversary,
10th anniversary to the first movie.
To the first movie premiering.
Yeah.
Lionsgate.
A whole decade. Oh, double digits. How does it feel?
But it's like, and it's just throughout the games, like there are these little kids that come to Haymitch and
from the districts.
From the districts, and they're just like
they love
gravitate
that part.
Towards him.
All the little like younger tributes, because Haymitch has a little brother that we learned, and he was 11 or he just turned 12 or something.
He was
like it was his first games.
He was 10. He was 2 years away from the games.
He was 2 years away from the games, and it's just like we saw the relationship that Haymitch had with his little brother, and it was just so like
it's cute
because Haymitch was the man of the house after his father died.
Yeah,
so you could tell like he had such like a parental thing with his little brother, but also like he never forgot that's my little brother.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I'm not his dad.
Yeah,
and
we're having fun.
I think he just emits that energy of like good guy,
older brother
so
vibes.
All the young tributes. Like they're all like 12, 13. They're all like gravitate towards him naturally, and it's so cute.
He calls them.
He calls specifically the little kids from District 8 or 9.
Yeah.
One of them. His little doves.
Because he calls them his little
in
doves.
The training and throughout the whole like week or two leading to the actual Hunger Games.
They have color coding.
They're all color coordinated by district.
Yeah, and District 8 was like this really
dove gray,
which I didn't know was a color.
Me neither.
I didn't know it was a color, but it's the color of mourning doves.
Yeah,
so I love mourning doves when they go hoo 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 hoo.
I don't think I've ever heard of mourning.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. I'm gonna play it for you, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, yeah, I love that sound. It's like the sound of spring. I love that sound."
So overall, how would you rate Sunrise on the Reaping?
I would rate it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, all right.
8.5 out of 10, only because I felt the book was amazing.
But what did you think it lacked?
It lacked the fact that I did not like Lenore Dove.
Oh my god. Me and Nina, we started texting when we were both like halfway through the book, and we were like, I can't stand her.
I couldn't stand her. Like she was, to me, she was like Gale. She was like Gale.
For me, I thought her like secret that Macy Lee was talking about was like, she's actually part of the Capitol or something. Like, I just thought.
We had a theory.
A game theory.
But it's just a theory.
A
film theory.
We had a theory that Lenore Dove was actually not like some rebel, whatever. We thought she was like working on the inside. Like she was low-key a snake.
That's what you thought of?
What did you think?
I thought that she was like in a Finnick position.
Oh, that's not what I
thought that she was.
I thought she was just so performative. Like I thought she was like all talk, no substance. I just thought she was annoying.
Yeah, I honestly like.
So yeah, Gale.
Because I thought of it and I'm like, I understand this is like Katniss, but if she
which
got
also
to
Katniss, like the Everdeens are like confirmed descendants of the Covey.
Yeah, they're which oh my god, it's so cool. But I feel like that she's a descendant of Lucy Gray Baird.
Yeah,
not of
Lenore Dove. Me neither.
I don't think she has any relation to Lenore.
I hope not.
It's just it felt like honestly, and like there's this conversation where that President Snow has with Haymitch, like these Covey girls, like do you like
you think they love you,
but they do not see you in their future.
And
I'm like,
if someone told me that, I would crash. I would have the crash out of my life. I would crash.
That's true.
Ow.
That's true. What do you mean they don't need me?
What do you mean? I just killed a turkey for her in the woods.
But it's just like I didn't like. There was so many things to that point should point to me liking her, but it's just like she's so like jealous and just vindictive, and it's like she acts first and doesn't think about the consequences later.
I think she was very selfish. I think
she was selfish.
Like, she's one of those people who don't realize that her actions have consequences.
Yes.
So she thinks she's probably doing something good for people, but then it ends up backfiring on way more people.
Like, she doesn't like me. She never liked Maisie, and it's like they had a very,
which most people didn't like Maisie,
but
she was apparently the town bully.
No, because I loved her. I loved her.
No. I'm talking about in the district.
Yeah, obviously. But I loved Maisie way more than I ever liked Lenore Dove. And
she had layers.
Exactly. She was like an ogre.
See, that's my...
She has layers like onions.
You kind of look like Shrek right now.
Look like a big old pea.
I just think that Lenore Dove was one of those characters that, like, all her cards were already on the table. Yeah. And there was not, like... There was no need to like dig deeper.
Exactly.
Like, she didn't have levels of her personality. Exactly, yeah. There was no depth behind her. She's a shallow end of the kiddie pool.
Exactly. It's like, to me, I felt like if they had more of an opportunity to talk, or if she never died after he came back from the games, I fully believe that she would have pulled a Gale and would have been like, oh yeah, but that's your lover boy, right? Like where she was just got so jealous of Maisie and so jealous, like how he got of Peeta, which, I mean, he had the right, but to me it was like Maisie and Haymitch were more of like a Finnick and Katniss relationship.
Yeah.
Which
oh my god, I'm so sorry. We're almost done with the episode. But there's no way we can skip over Lulu?
Lulu
and
Luella.
God. I didn't like. I knew the Capitol was bad, but when I read Luella McCoy enters the room, I had to put the book down.
No, me too.
I had to take a minute. I literally flipped my phone over. I closed my book. I turned the TV off, and I just sat there for a second. Yeah. I was like, "That's insane."
Yes.
That was insanity.
Yes.
That's when I was like, Suzanne Collins, you better count your mother effing days, because that was crazy.
Which Luella was this little girl from District 12,
who was Haymitch's sweetheart when they were young.
Exactly, and Katniss reminded him so much of her.
That's why she's nicknamed Sweetheart,
and he calls her Sweetheart. And she dies in the parade, but the camera's cut out, so nobody realizes.
Nobody knows.
So they take. And there's a fan theory out there that I didn't create, but I was like, I had said to, while we were texting, that she might be the first person, this Luella person, and she might have been from District 11.
Yes.
Who was the first person to be hijacked with Tracker Jacker Venom.
Yeah. Which Peeta is
then tortured in the 75th Hunger. In Mockingjay. And Mockingjay, she was the first person to be tortured with the Venom.
And she was low-key like Tony Stark arc reactor.
Yeah, like they were pumping drugs. They had there was blood coming out of her ear, and her family buried somebody who wasn't her. And I don't think they ever found out the truth. He might have never said anything. Crazy. He might have never said anything.
See, because I also don't know, like, did they send Luella's body back to the McCoys, or did they send Lulu's?
They sent Lulu's.
Then what happened to Luella's body? Probably incinerated.
Probably, because if let's say like they would have opened up the casket, they would have seen her in her miner's outfit with her head smashed in.
That's true.
And that is not how she died in the games.
But we never see her reaction, so maybe we don't know. We never see the family's
reaction.
So
it's up to our interpretation. Really, they don't know what they buried. Facts. We don't know what they buried.
Which is crazy.
And that, like, I understand, like you said, that the Capitol is awful, and torturing Peeta and Joanna were awful.
Of course.
But this was a new level.
That was
vile.
This is like, I don't understand how someone could even think about this.
Think to do this. Think to do a body double, like, for a 12-year-old girl.
At this point in the book, I thought it was going to be Lenore Dove who walks in, and that's why I thought she was like, oh, she's probably like some double agent type, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was not prepared. I was not prepared.
No.
So anyways, I would give this book,
sorry,
I would say I would give it a 9 out of 10 because I really did not like Lenore Dove either.
We didn't like her.
But I really, oh my God, but it was incredible.
I think my opinion will change of her in the movie if
Me too.
Sink plays her.
Honestly, yeah.
Because she was fucking annoying.
Okay, let's talk real quick. Who would you fan cast as only Hey Mitch?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Honestly, the guy who comes to mind is the guy from the Challengers.
Mike Feist?
Mike
I would love
Feist.
that, honestly.
Yeah, because
that'd be really cool.
when you're a jet.
When you're a jet. Oh my God, and then him and Rachel will both be in the Hunger Games.
Yes.
Like,
yes. Like
multiverse.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, fun.
I like
Mike Feist.
I don't
We're
Mike Feist,
coming for you.
Yeah, Mike Feist just as Haymitch, like, but the thing is like,
But like he's low-key old.
I understand. Yeah, he is low-key old. He cannot play a 16-year-old. But the thing about it is like, how does Haymitch get straight hair? Does he just straighten it every day? because
Maybe he just like
he has curly hair.
he does have curly hair.
He has curly. That's why I imagined him as a young boy.
But then again,
or he's just so depressed that his hair is straight.
Hair is just like his hair is fine. You are so disheveled. Your curls are no longer curling. They start shooting out his head, just pin straight. But you remember at kind of low key, same thing happens to Snow though.
That's true.
Because his hair was curly in the beginning, and then at the end of the movie, it's like suddenly straight.
That's true.
So
That's true.
maybe it's just like maybe it just happens in Pan Am.
Oh my God! But
Rite of passage, you get a chemical straightening.
But I want Drusilla to be Helena Bonham Carter.
I hope she dies in the book.
I think I saw a fan cast of Effie Trinket as
Catherine Newton. That would be incredible.
And my favorite one of Wyrus as Maya Hawke.
I think it would be so
the
good.
The best.
I want to know who they're gonna cast to play younger Mags because
younger Mags.
I love Mag.
I could see Helena Bonham Carter playing either role.
I could see that.
Either that,
I think it would be cooler if she played Drusilla though.
Yeah, I think it would be way cooler. I think she could embody the character. Yeah. Like you wouldn't even know. Who else? Oh my goodness. Who would I cast to play? Luella. Luella.
I wonder if they'll bring Stanley Tucci back.
I hope so.
And just like CGI him a little younger.
I hope so.
I don't think anyone could do Lucky Flickerman as good as he can.
Caesar Flickerman.
Not
Lucky.
Sorry, Lucky.
Lucky, Ben Schwartzman.
That's crazy. Only 2 people ever hosted the Hunger Games, and it was Caesar and Lucky.
Yeah.
Flickerman.
Well, Caesar was great.
Caesar was great.
Lucky was a little.
Lucky was a weatherman. Magician. Person.
Just not the right choice.
I saw a tweet. I saw like an Instagram meme today. Like, you remember in Austin and Alley how Trish was like, had a new job every day?
Guess who got a job at the post office?
Someone was like, I would hate to be her accountant. Imagine doing her taxes, all those W-2s piling up. I would be pissed.
So true. Like every month a new job. 12 W-2s like that.
This is your reminder to do your taxes, guys.
Yep.
Or commit fraud.
Just don't do them.
Just don't do them.
Who cares?
They're such a scam.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just turn into the Hunger Games.
No. No. Every year on tax day.
Every day on
the
tax
Hunger
day,
Games.
whoever didn't pay, they're chosen.
Oh my God. They're like, you didn't pay, you committed fraud. Boom.
Squid Game style.
Oh my God, that's
Squid
true.
Game and Hunger Games.
Red light, green
Squid
light.
Games is pretty much Hunger Games, just like voluntary.
It is voluntary, yeah.
So yeah.
That's the thing about the Hunger Games is that it's mandatory.
Yeah.
Mandatory for those people, you know?
Mm-hmm. So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Like talk about
the Hunger Games.
In specific, Sunrise on the Reaping. Mm-hmm. If you haven't read it, please go read it.
Oh my God, you have to. You have to read that. The
movie's coming out next year.
And you have to read all of the books. They're so good.
I'm going to go home and they should have been delivered, so I'll probably start Hunger Games today.
I cannot wait for you to start. I cannot wait.
I unintentionally read them in timeline order. I started with Ballads and now Sunrise, and now I'm doing the trilogy.
Yeah, he really is.
But we are hoping, we're gunning for Suzanne Collins, if you're listening.
Yeah.
The next book should be about Phoenix Games.
I think
Aftermath.
I don't think it should be about his games. I think it should be about the after.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be about his games. I want it to be about the after until the 70s.
But they have to include the games. It could be like Invalid, and it could be short.
Yeah, exactly. It could be like kind of like just mentioned, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think they have to go through the whole process of reaping because he's a career.
We know.
Exactly. Like it would be so cool to like show his relationship with Mags or whatever.
Facts.
But after that, or maybe even like his love of Annie, like with Annie, that was so cute. but I want it to be mostly about Adler's games, and I don't know how book ratings work. Of like you know how like movies, it's like
Rated
PG-13, rated R,
yeah.
whatever. I would like for it to go into detail about his experience as a literal prostitute.
Facts.
In
getting
the
paid in
yes, getting paid in secrets.
Because God,
and I want to know. I want to know his full speech at the end when they're trying to hijack into the Capitol, and they plastered his face all over the Capitol to get PETA back. You remember?
No.
You don't remember in the last movie?
No.
When he's sitting there in the ruins of District 13, and he's telling his events, and in the movie.
Yes, okay, yes, I do. I remember this.
And he's like, "This is what happened. This is what Snow made me do, and I know his secret. He's using poison, venom that only he has had the antidote for, but he doesn't have it anymore because he's dying."
Fact.
Yeah. Which. Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. Who's really disappointed?
Oh. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you so much.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, I promise you that was the last thing.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend.
Read the book. Suzanne will be knocking at your door.